for yet another episode of Learn by Play. I believe our penultimate episode of this season. So, yeah, things are getting very exciting. Things are about to kick off. So, let's go around the cast and crew. Let's figure out who we are and who we're playing tonight. And let's start with Sid. How you doing, Sid?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm very nervous. I feel like I've kept like the nervous energy that was left from 2 weeks ago up to this point. It's still there. I still feel it. But I'm playing Farron. She is a half-sun elf arcane archer.
Great stuff. And we also have Greg with us tonight. Greg, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, buddy. I know that I'm frozen. I'm playing an Air Genasi barbarian by the name of Zephyr, and everything that we are, were, or could potentially will be, it's all on Sid. No pressure on me.
Yeah, no pressure on Sid tonight. Great stuff. We also have Chelsea with us. Chelsea, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. Back at it, trying to stay alive against a lich. Seems to be this like reoccurring pattern with the group. It's happening. So yeah, here we are, just facing them down again. Oh, and Mutt. I knew something was up with Mutt. Don't think that Rufus did not know, because Rufus, in fact, did. Who is the group's Sun Soul monk? He's a very large human, tough-looking on the outside, but really pretty warm and fuzzy on the inside.
Yes. Rufus saw the entire plot coming, and he called it all so far.
And then everybody gave him a hard time in the bar, and he felt bad. Just so everybody knows.
Well, last but not least, we have Tool School with us tonight. School, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. If you guys hear weird audio stuff or stuff like that, let me know. I am hosting for Will as his computer went boom. And I am muted. We keep like going back and forth, muting and unmuting each other. I'm actually capturing directly from my mic, so they did not hear you.
They heard you, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rest of the party didn't hear me. But yeah, so as craziness happens with the broadcast tonight, it's my fault. I 100% take a responsibility. I play Miguel, who is our Aasimar warlock, who is basically the healer of the party. And I don't know, he just wishes someone would have warned us about Mutt. That's what he's thinking right now, because that's what he really just wishes, is if someone would have just seen it coming. Maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't be in this position that we're in now. But yeah, I'm looking forward tonight. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, feel free to yell at me if weird stuff is happening with the broadcast. Hopefully everything will keep going fine. Yay!
Woohoo! Great stuff. As for myself, I'll be your dungeon master for tonight. Learn by Play, of course. We take moments away from the game to teach you guys DM tips, world-building stuff, and general D&D advice, Q&A stuff as well. So stick around for that. But, of course, the rest of the game is actual play stuff. So to remind you guys of where we are in our story, the party are going around trying to find Asarak's phylacteries and destroy them one by one. They are in Neverwinter at the moment, and a vast army of the undead are on their doorstep, only a few days away, perhaps at most. And the party have breached Lord Neverember's tower, who's gone missing for a long time. Turns out Neverember is an occultist and demonologist, but perhaps a little bit more than that as well. He may very well himself have ascended to lichhood. As things stand, all three of the party members, including Zephyr, Rufus, and Miguel, are paralyzed and locked down onto chairs, while Farron is the only one who has managed to resist this strange magic. Also, it turns out that Mutt may very well be working with Lord Neverember, who at this point is not seeming like a great guy, it has to be said. So, as exactly what's going on, well, actually, last broadcast we cut off halfway through thanks to having a power cut or something like that. So he was mid-monologue explaining his James Bond villain plan when everything went out. So we're going to have to pick up things up. Where we stand, though, they're in Lord Neverember's tower. The three of them locked down, paralyzed. Farron's still able to stand and speak. Mutt's in the room, their friendly half-orc friend from the tavern, and Lord Neverember himself, an ancient, decrepit-looking being who carries with him a staff and has thus far explained that he uses Mutt and has used Mutt to spy on the party, to know their location and what they've been up to and what they've been doing. So, Farron, you look around you, your three friends unable to move. This wrinkly old man, Lord Neverember, before you, and Mutt just smiling in his general, slightly idiotic-looking smile, but he looks very happy to have helped out. And Mutt says, "I'm sorry, Farron, I didn't realise I wasn't meant to be watching you guys. You see, Lord Neverember's, he's been a good friend of mine, and so I just do him some favours every now and again, you know?"
I will see, normally I would think that was fine. Because up until now, I feel like we've had this sort of a different perception of Lord Neverember, but now seeing him face to face, I feel a little terrified. Maybe.
Oh, terrified. That's not good. But I don't think you got nothing to worry about, because Neverember said he wasn't going to hurt any of you. And that's why I decided to help along, because he doesn't want any of you hurt. You know, right? And Neverember, there with his staff and dark robe, says, "That is right, Mutt. I don't want any of you hurt. Indeed, I think that we may be able to work together against a common evil." Mutt says, "That's what you said before, that old common evil thing. We can work together with it. So I thought, why not let's include liches as well? Because you guys had an epitaph. That little kid, what is a little girl, was also a lich. So why don't we include all types of peoples, not just adventurers, but also people like me and liches like Lord Neverember, isn't that right?" Neverember nods. Exactly. So.
Well, okay, if you don't want us hurt and you don't want to be scary or terrifying or anything, then maybe you could let my friends at least stand up and maybe think for themselves. You seem to have them under some weird spell thing, and you strap them in, and that's not very...
Yes, my apologies. Sometimes I forget the needs of mortals to move and breathe. And his kind of hand goes over of his staff, and the three of you are released from the spell, and you can move and speak and breathe properly again.
I told you! That's all Rufus says as he comes right out of it and points.
Yeah, to be fair, Rufus did tell all of us, that's true.
So
I never heard it.
You want to work with us? What is this common good you talk of?
Oh, different mute key than I'm used to. So Neverember looks towards Rufus and says, "Yes, I thought you might have been close to uncovering Mutt's true identity, but it seems as though no one believed you. But the common evil I'm speaking of course, is Acererak, the one who was defeated before, but not wholly destroyed. I, as you, have been finding his phylacteries and destroying them, one by one. But I have run into a problem. The last one, the 7th, I cannot destroy it myself. Even I, a being of unlimited power, well, in this world at least, I find that I do not have the strength to defeat it on my own. And that is why I thought that it might be best to check on some other adventurers who had been seeking out these phylacteries and recruit them to my cause." And Mutt says, "That's right, you just try to do the same thing. We're all trying to do the same thing here, what is try to stop the baddies, isn't that right?" Neverember nods. "Exactly. There's an army on our doorstep, and they're here because, well, I have the last phylactery here. If I do find a way to destroy it, then perhaps that army can in turn be destroyed as well. But I only need your help."
Okay. To destroy... If you can't destroy it, how are we going to destroy it?
Well, I have something in mind, as I'm sure you might suspect. Yes. Well, you might have noticed that I have been researching demons. Beings from different realms that can have very destructive properties. just so happens that I know one such demon that I think would be able to destroy the phylactery for us. However, summoning such a creature is incredibly dangerous and may need some persuading and focusing so that it doesn't destroy, well, everything.
What sort of creature is it? Because see, we're not completely experienced with in confronting different types of people. As inclusive as Mutt has made us, that we're lacking in that.
Well, how familiar are you with the demon lords?
Do they roll on
I
this?
must say that I do not like the sound of anything called a demon lord when a demon is scary enough just on its own.
Yep, what he said.
I suppose that is understandable. But, nonetheless, I have done a lot of research on this matter. There are demon lords who can be summoned with appropriate rituals and rites, who would be willing to destroy the phylactery for us. You see, the army is only perhaps a day away. Neverwinter is sure to fall. They're coming here to get the last phylactery back.
So we're supposed to fight the bad guy with another bad guy. Who we're
Fight
supposed
fire with fire, as they say.
As an Aasimar who has a patron who is a celestial, can I just throw some shade here?
Sure.
So you talk about that you have to go to these horrible demon lords and that it's the only way to fight fire with fire. Yet there are celestial beings as powerful as demon lords, and yet you decided to go with the demons instead of the good guys. Do you see why I'm having a little bit of problem with this?
No, I struggle with why would I not summon demons?
When you can summon something, you could summon a diva or an angel or a Kotokol.
Barely as powerful.
Well, can you answer
Have
me
you
a question?
Have you met some of these lesser gods?
I mean, he's
Did you
doing all
even
this
try?
research.
That is
on-
really what I would like to know. Did you even try?
Oh, certainly I tried.
So this severed flat.
They don't get along with me.
What does it look
Let me
like?
put on my
Like, what
shocked
is
face.
it? What is it exactly? Like,
The phylactery itself. He says, "Why don't I show you? Come with me."
okay.
And the door behind him, he goes through that and bids you to follow him.
Oh,
Zephyr unclips his gun rig, but doesn't grab his hammer or shield yet. He has feelings as to what this is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I just look. Rufus looks through the group and kind of assures that we're all in this to win it. Like, are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
Farron is just sort of absent-mindedly nodding. I don't think it's like clicked quite yet. What is happening here? She's like, I just saved that day. Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, Rufus looks at me. Well, I want to see it.
See what?
The flat tree.
Oh yes, I want to see the. I thought you were talking about the demon. I do not want to see a demon.
No, I don't. No, I don't want to
Wait,
see.
why do we see? Wait, the demon thing that he's saying. That's not like the metaphor. Where he's just
Oh
really,
no, I think he's talking
really
about an
summoned-
actual real demon, and not just a demon like the boss of the demons, like their
Oh.
lord and master demon.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And he thinks he can control it. See, that's.
You know,
us.
he keeps
Others
talking like that. We
control. If everybody didn't just want control of something, then we could all just sit around and eat our soup and drink our tea, and then we wouldn't have to worry about flat trees or liches, none of this.
so
They're so easy, or demons. Someone just summon a demon to kill a lich.
so very interesting thing. if I may tell a quick little story. See, back in Schult, the rich people used to have the poor people to come and walk their dinosaurs for them. Because the dinosaurs, they have to poop and you have to take them on a walk. What they fail to mention is that many of these dinosaurs, when you're taking them for a walk and want them to keep them under control, they don't like being put under control, and they eat the dog walker, and you find out that they had wanted you to be their dino walker because they didn't want to get eaten themselves.
So
I am thinking that this man wants us to be his demon walker, and we are going to get eaten.
By the demon when it comes out, yes. Okay, let's go see it.
Dinos poop very big. Demons probably poop bigger. I'm just saying. We are going... No matter what, we end up with a pile of shit.
They are famously large crabbers.
That is an amazing metaphorical story. It really put a lot in perspective for me.
Could you put it again?
See, are we sure that he's not telling us a metaphor too?
Okay. Rufus walks straight. He walks straight in or behind, whichever direction he went. Will I want him to follow? He's going. He wants to see it.
Absolutely.
Do we have a chance to ask Lord Neverember a question as we're proceeding? Lord Neverember, can this horde sense the phylactery?
Indeed. I believe that is why they are being drawn here. They know that their master is close to defeat, and if they do not find it in time, they in turn will be destroyed, including their commander, a female lich. I believe you might have met her before.
I believe we have.
Yeah.
What is the time frame?
From what I heard from the reports, anywhere from 24 to 48 hours.
He puts his hand on the lich's shoulder to stop him from advancing.
Okay.
Are we like, I can't recall, do we know, is Neverwinter just look like a lich, or is he a lich?
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good, though.
In case we're
we've
asking,
seen lots of rotting people, after the Death Plague and all that type of stuff.
Sure.
So this isn't just like the Death Plague. This is like undeath.
If you were to take a guess, you would think that he was probably undead, yeah.
Okay.
Does he stop? I mean, he doesn't
I mean, if you put a hand on his shoulder, he'll stop and look back at you.
Why do you want to destroy the phylactery if it only takes 24 or 48 hours to keep it out of their hands?
There's only a matter of time before Neverwinter is destroyed. If we take it away, they're going to take it anyway. The city is what they want.
They have to catch me. They have to catch us.
Perhaps they will follow us wherever we go. I know that you have run a lot of different places and that they have followed you there. Perhaps we could run. Neverwinter would die behind us. I have my summoning circle here. I have my tools, my items, my artifacts, everything that makes me powerful enough to summon a creature powerful enough to destroy the phylactery. If we were to flee, it might be years, decades, before I'd be able to destroy it again. All the time, more of the forgotten realms of Sword Coast would fall to the undead.
I could take it to the sea. Run west. The Tempest Beloved could outrun any horde.
Perhaps hordes, yes. Perhaps for a while. But eventually, they would find you. And this world would be doomed. See, fate, I see it. While I do think fleeing would not be a bad option to save our own lives and to save others, we would be dooming the Sword Coast. Their power will only grow stronger if we were to leave.
We can't leave it to just fall to hold it undead.
The adventurers in Chod made the same mistake, thinking that Azrak would be defeated after his corporeal form was destroyed, but he will return. He'll keep returning.
So say we do this. We summon a demon, this great demon to come to destroy the phylactery. Then what do we do with the demon?
That's a very good question.
Send it back once it's done.
Now,
You have the power to do that. It can't like bite you on it or just stay.
I can't say that I have the power alone to do it. I would need some assistance. You see, once summoned, these creatures tend not to want to go back again.
Oh,
If you
I
catch my
see.
drift.
You want us to fight it?
to make it weak enough so you can send it back.
Correct.
Well, there we have it.
So
All the
I have
cards
to
are
be
on the table.
honest. I've never fought a demon.
Ah, no, you did. Down in the beneath the library, you fought a few of them.
Yes,
Yeah, but,
No.
they were
but
summoned by a kitty cat.
it's true. Just a simple kitty cat's demons. These aren't. This isn't some, you know, 7th level of hell kind of demon. Which I assume it has to be if he's going to destroy. And this flat tree, where is it? You said you show it.
He stopped moving once Zephyr put his hand on his shoulder, but
No.
he said, "We may go there now."
In for a penny, in for a pound. I guess we do not have much of a choice here. We have no time and no options. That's basically what I am hearing here, correct?
That is right.
That we leave, even if we take the phylactery from Netherwinter, the Horde still takes Netherwinter and then increases its army by the size of the population of Netherwinter.
Let me put it to you this way. I myself have been gifted life eternal. Perhaps I could just choose to flee with you. Your lives are much shorter, and we could decide to live our lives off in the sea somewhere, as this one suggested, and run away from all of our problems, and run away from the city and everyone who lived here and everyone who lives north, south, east, and west of here.
Oh,
Or we could stand and fight and try. Perhaps we will die. Even I can be killed.
well, I don't mind dying. I just wants to make sure that we actually do the job. Because if we don't, and then we all die, then once again we've doomed the world.
I agree. I may have fallen down a dark path, but my duty still lies with Neverwinter. As once its leader, I feel honor bound to defend it. Come with me. And he leads you into his, his inner sanctum. In here, it's a circular chamber. There are pentagrams drawn all over the floor in chalk and wax, and there's candles all around. Surprising lack of actual books and tomes around. It doesn't look like he's got so many scrolls and books as other places that you've been in here before. But certainly a lot on... There's one hefty stack on demonology. And you think you see on the floor traces of what looks to be blood. For those of you who know much about demons, there may be some blood sacrifices involved in summoning such creatures. So there's a lot of blood stain on the floor. And in the center of the room on the floor is a little girl that you recognize to be Nepatak.
Of course it is.
She's there
Hammers
with,
out, shields out before he, as soon as Zephyr sees him, he arms up and moves towards Neverember.
He puts up a hand, no magic, but just as a sort of it's okay. And Nepatak calls out as well. She's standing there. You can tell that she's herself, and she's it's okay.
What's going on?
Lord Neverember says, "This is our last phylactery. The one that must be destroyed. Didn't even know what she was. Created to think that she was her own person. Alas." And Nepatak says, "Lord Neverember's showed me the truth of the matter. I'm the last one. And while I'm still alive, he'll never die."
The hammer has not gone anywhere.
Neverember doesn't seem to move away. He doesn't even seem to look at the hammer. He'll step. He's kind of outside of the circle of the pentagram, but he'll step inside, and stand about 10 feet away from Nepatek and look back to you and says, "This is what we have, my friends. I'll give you again the same deal. You can choose to take her and run. I will not stop you. Or you can stay here with me and we can destroy her."
Is there no way to destroy the connection, but save the little girl?
No. And Nepatek shakes her head. It is what I am. I have to be destroyed. It's okay. I've lived a long life, longer than most. It's what I want.
I'm stretching here. Can I do something to see if she has a soul that might move on to a better place once this vessel is destroyed?
Could roll me a religion check.
Come on, Miguel. You didn't study in school, but know this. Come on, know this.
Yeah, I'm struggling here, right? Because this guy, he just seems evil. Can I roll an insight on him? Is there something I can roll on him? Well,
sure, you could roll me an insight check. Yeah.
Not very wise, but
ooh, dirty 20.
I did it.
Okay. Dirty 20 from Miguel. What's
11 on my religion.
Sorry, 11 from Miguel. Dirty 20 from Rufus.
Rufus, yeah.
He seems like he's telling you the truth. He is a lich, as far as you can tell. Certainly is undead. And from everything that you've seen of liches, it would suggest to you that he is one. He probably could just leave. He probably could just run away, and he would live forever. So he hasn't really got any
stake in it.
If Nepatek is not a phylactery, then he probably would have destroyed her if he's just trying to kill you guys, which he hasn't. It seems like he's laid his cards out on the table. Certainly he's gone to unscrupulous means in order to obtain this knowledge. And in doing so has doomed his own soul. So he's made questionable decisions, but it seems like he's being honest with you here.
Yeah.
As for you, Miguel, on the religion check, you're not sure if Nepatek has a soul. She certainly once did, but whether or not she still has that when she died, did it ever move on? Is there anything even still left there now? That's a question full of scholars.
Right. But I am not. I sort of go down and kneel down in front of her. Back in that dark place that you had lived for so long, I promised you I would show you the sun again. And to take you away from this. Are you sure that this is what you want?
I didn't know what I was. I thought I was just a little girl trapped there, but I mean, it made sense. I was hidden away in a place that no one would ever find me. And unable to die. And you all showed me freedom and how to live again. But I can't live if that means the deaths of hundreds of thousands of others. I mean, it's not fair, is it?
I look at her and go, well, you had a great example of what it means to live. And I turn to Zephyr and sort of step back to let the two of them speak.
We don't know that if we ran, this whole army could turn. If its whole purpose is to get us, then it could turn. It could take to the sea. It could leave Neverwinter. It could leave the Sword Coast unchecked. It could come after the Tempest Beloved. We could drag him away. You don't know this. And he looks at Never Ember.
Nepatak says, but I do. From what I saw of Felindra Shadowmantle, she's not above spite. If she knew you couldn't destroy it, I'm sure she'd be happy to destroy everything that you cared about. And every town and city in between you would fall. The further you went, the more she would burn. She'll never stop following you. She can't. She's bound to it. But if you tell me that's what you want to do, then I can't destroy myself. I need your help. I'd have to come with you.
What if they knew you could be killed? You could be destroyed? That we were taking you someplace to do it, and there was no doubt. Would that draw them away?
I don't know. Maybe. Creatures like Felindra, once they have power, they're not willing to let it go. She thinks she can take Neverwinter, and I think she thinks that she can. I don't know what would stop her.
She is certainly not very happy with us. She would do everything to make...
We've bested her.
Yes. That's the thing. She wouldn't ever face us again. She would make everything around us a nightmare.
Then she would fail. They either catch us and stop us, or they fail.
They don't. Because in the wake of us taking her and leaving will be the lives of everybody that they cross. Every person along the way till they reach the coast to follow us deep into the sea. They would kill everything on the way.
Then they fight. These people in this city, in this, and he points to Never Ember. They fight.
But we can fight now.
Why?
Do you
For
really
what they've
want to
given
spend,
us?
You really want to spend your life running with her? The whole time on the sea running for the truth of the matter? Which is that we left this place to die.
This place isn't my crew.
You're right, but we are.
We fight.
You come with me.
Zephyr, my friend, pirate. We fight because she's asking us to.
He's right. I've lived my parts of my life a man in chains, unable to make choices. She wants it. It's her choice.
She just needs our help.
We've let her pick everything else. We let her choose if she wanted to come with us. We let her choose if she wanted to stay back. It's not fair if we don't let her choose now because it's not what we want.
I don't trust any of this. None of it smells right.
I agree with you. And we can take a deep breath and sit here and discuss how may be better to approach it. But running is not the answer.
Neverember speaks up and says, "This is your choice. I am friends with the Harpers. Sindra has told me that you're all good people. I might not be a good person myself, but I believe that you all are. I will do my best to help you, no matter what you decide. If we decide to watch this world burn, then I will stand with you and do so. Similarly, I will stand with you and fight."
I will not watch it burn.
If Felindra is beaten, if this horde is beaten, does the girl need to die?
She has to die.
That's not what I asked.
She lives. He can never truly die. So what its phylacteries work is that until all of them are destroyed, he will always be reborn.
Valindra was once a great force, a living force on this world, and was corrupted and turned to what she is now. He will just find another and another and another.
There's a way out. There's always a way out.
There is not, my friend. I am sorry. I want to tell you there is. I want there to be one just as much. Please stand with us and help do what she is asking, what she is begging us to do. Every life that is taken while it's alive not only weighs on us, it weighs on her too. It is a burden that she will carry. I know you are strong enough to carry it for her, but that is the one thing you will never be able to take off of her shoulders.
Not a demon.
All right. That's a negotiation point. Okay.
What else do you have? I've spent years here summoning creatures that would be able to do so, but the path that I have chosen does not make me amenable to creatures of light.
My father.
Damn.
Who is your father?
He is King of the West Wind, the Jin Alcazar. Where he blows, he chases the Tempest Beloved. He seeks me. He could do it.
Would he?
For a price.
And what price might that be?
One that I am willing to pay, and that is all you need know, Lord Neverember.
Nebatak says, are you sure? This demon creature, that could also work, right? You wouldn't have to sacrifice yourself.
You wouldn't have to die by a demon.
I don't mind.
I do.
Neverember says, if that's something that you think is a viable solution, then perhaps, yes.
Pirate.
Can we have a huddle really fast? There's Zephyr. I agree with you that summoning a demon's a bad idea. I think it is interesting that we instead could summon your father. It's the part where you have to pay something to do it that scares me.
Zephyr, I don't understand. Why does your father... What does he want? From you? Why?
My mother took something from him. She's gone. That debt falls on my shoulders.
Debt?
It is not of a concern.
But my friend, it is.
He can grant wishes. He can do things that no demon lord can. He possesses a power that no one but the winds possess. Perhaps he can free her of this burden.
Yes, but at what price?
It does not matter.
But it does. At least to us. Because we are in this together. We stand here together.
I appreciate that, big man. And we will stand again. One last time.
But see, I don't like that. I'd rather summon a demon and fight to death beside you than have you sacrifice yourself for us.
You can't trust a demon.
You can't. But I can't trust you if you don't tell me.
My father will do exactly as I say.
Pirate, what is this that he stole? That your mother stole from him?
A part of him. It became me.
So he's coming to take you back.
In a manner of speaking.
What is he gonna do with you when you get back? Are you just gonna be together in the sky and have a happy family again? Is that...
Archer, I'm not sure that my father wishes to take the table with his son and catch up on birthdays missed. But this is a way, the only chance we have for Nebatak to be free and perhaps live again. He has power over life itself.
Well, if he's got so much power, he can keep you here too, right? He doesn't have to take you.
If I understand correctly, that's the only way he will come. However...
That's right, big man.
Perhaps, and knowing that the Demon Lord must be something horrible, I am the speaker, the herald of Kotal Khan. Perhaps we are thinking about this a little differently. Why have one force of good, or, in the case of your father, perhaps neutrality, when you can have two? A source of pure good and a poor source of wishes and dreams. Perhaps the combination could make a difference.
Perhaps.
I do not know whether Kotal Khan will come. I'm not sure if I am yet worthy to bring him here, but I can certainly try.
I'm sure you are, Miguel. And we haven't really stopped to think about all the things that we've accomplished since we got together. I mean, we're completely different people, different beings. I'm sure you've earned whatever you're aiming for.
Perhaps with your blood and my blood, and the summonings that he has learned, instead of bringing forth a demon, we can bring forth a genie and a celestial knight. I do not know.
So we're going to summon two other things. We're still going to lose Zephyr. With the hope of what? Because she still has to die.
That we don't lose her to the Nine Hells, to a horrible fate for the rest of her eternity.
That her soul saved.
That her soul is
Does she
saved.
have a soul?
I don't know. But can anything that saw such joy in sailing across the sea not
You're
go
right.
on to somewhere. And I can certainly entreat my deity to perhaps take her underneath of his rainbow wings and put her someplace safe at least.
You're right. You're all right. All right. So for the simple man here, do me a favor and break down exactly what it is we're going to do.
We're gonna fight.
Well, I can do that. But how do we start this summon? How do you summon your father, and how do you summon this great celestial thing?
We go to the beach.
To the sun.
Okay. I see a plan forming. So daytime at the beach. Okay. What else?
Neverember, we need to get him involved to help us make contact.
Can you do that, November?
He looks at you from your huddle.
Can you? Oh, right.
Yes, I can help summon something like that, I suppose. Might not be easy. Indeed, I expect it'll be even harder than summoning a demon that I am far more versed in. Summoning a literal god. Well, they require sacrifices as well, you know.
Oh, I am very aware of the sacrifices that Kotal Khan requires. And yes, a sacrifice will have to be made.
So it is your choice. I can provide some power. Amplify your own. Perhaps your god will answer your call. As for you, when it comes to your father, I think you're the only one who can reach him.
I know how to get his attention.
Well, best of luck to you both, then. He will ask you guys what you want to do first. Seeing as you've got probably about 24 hours, day, maybe a day and a half before the undead army are here. At this point, I think it's sort of afternoon time, so 3 to 4 p.m. perhaps. So you guys have some daylight left. It's going to take you a couple of hours to get down to the beach. And go ahead, Tosco.
Just from what I know of most Mesoamerican cultures and gods, Miguel will chime in and go, sunrise.
Oh, okay.
Sunrise is when Kotal Khan will be most likely to answer. It is when he brings his light back to the world.
I have an idea. Let's go right now down to the beach, and I'll set up Safar, and we'll have us some soup together as a family.
That would that would be nice.
Fine idea.
Where should I go? Nepatak will say.
You are our family as well, dear. You will join us for soup on the beach.
Okay. Mutt says, what about me?
And you too, Matt.
Yeah, just leave your weird house where it is, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't move.
Let's hope not.
Does it? He looks so funny. Neverember shrugs. So Mutt and Nepatak are coming with you guys. Where you guys want to go?
Well, I guess Rufus will need to, if it's not too late in the day, I'll just collect, like along the route towards the beach, I'll like pick up, a tater and some onions and some mushrooms and like along the way, like do the shopping that needs to be done, I guess. And then, Rufus is headed for the beach unless you guys have another.
Yeah, I assume there's a part of the coast that still's not just the harbor, an actual beach here near Neverwinter.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can head down to the beach. It could, in fact, be the same one where the Tempest Beloved is docked, if you guys wanted.
Nice cove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cove. It's where Zarin, the pirates, and his sort of folks have control of the area. You think you're pretty safe around here.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
set up shop and start the process, I guess.
Definitely.
Is there anything we need for this summoning thing? Like any sort of special summoning things? I've never summoned anyone or anything before, and I feel like we are woefully ill prepared to do that.
So, Neverember is staying at his tower in case unless you guys need him to be with you for this.
I assume he can meet us at sunrise.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Where are the what are they? The Inquisitors, the
Wardens.
The wardens. Yeah, where are the wardens?
They have a presence in the Temple District. I think last time when you came back, you noticed that they had lost a lot of presence in the city after it turns out that their reputation for never letting any undead in the city has been broken. But you could still find them there.
And what was the name of the Lord Warden, the High Warden?
Marcus Pontimus.
Pontimus. Zephyr sends a note to him.
Okay.
Going out on a limb, he says, "You may want to witness the end of your son."
Do you tell him where to meet you?
He tells him on the beach, but farther up the beach, away from the Tempest Beloved.
Okay. Is that where you guys like making station?
No, we're down by the Tempest Beloved. He tells him an hour before dawn.
Okay.
Wow, this is gonna get big.
Hi, hi.
Anything else you guys want to be doing as you're making food and stuff? Just chilling.
Yeah, chilling.
Beach day of Nevertech.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beach day.
Like that episode of The Office.
Yeah.
I look to Zephyr and his blade that he carries. Pirate, I will need you to strike true tomorrow morning. So I may make this sacrifice that I must make. I trust your hand.
Zephyr embraces Miguel. He clasps him around the chest and uses his forearm to draw the back of his neck into his shoulder. We will do what must be done.
Yes. Whatever you need from me, I will do it.
You already have.
I am glad that we were able to share a little time at the table together in this life, pirate.
There are seas to sail in the next.
There are. But tonight, there is soup and Miguelabu.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zephyr pulls up his own bottle. Oh, I know.
Spicy.
As you guys are seated down for a couple of hours, Rufus has got the stew on. Sergeant Tasker will arrive in his full sort of brigade, wearing his armor and slightly podgy looking guy in his 40s again, the beard, salt and pepper, and sword at his hip. He'll turn up and say, "I heard something was going on around here. Figured I might take a seat."
You are always welcome.
Yep, soup. You want some soup?
However, I heard you were dead. And just gives him a smile, remembering back to how they first met.
Yeah, he'll grin a slightly toothless grin, and sit down. He'll play with Nepatak a little bit, although she seems to be in a particularly somber mood this evening. So as it grows later and darker, you guys party through the night. What is the mood in the camp tonight? You guys obviously have drinks and food, and there's a fire, and your friends are there. Mutt's there, of course, Sergeant Tasker, Nepatak, and it's not too long before Lord Neverember will show up. He'll meet you guys sometime through the night and be at the camp.
Miguel is trying to make the most of the last evening, but of course it's hanging over him. At some point he knows he will need to rest in order to be prepared for tomorrow. But he stares at the stars for a long time. He asks Farron to dance with him out in the shallows in the moonlight as the moon comes down. He goes and sits with Rufus as he tends this pot of soup. And just before the end of the night, probably finds Zephyr last and just sits with Zephyr for a while.
And as they sit for a while, facing west into the ocean, Zephyr doesn't turn, but the constant breeze that sort of buffets his body would be shared with Miguel as it mingles with the westerly breeze. And it might be now that Miguel realizes that no matter where he is, that breeze that always blows seems to be blowing from the west. And he will wait for the inevitable time when Miguel needs to go and rest to prepare himself. And Zephyr will make sure that everybody in camp is okay. And he will strip down to just his pants and put on the cloak that he received. And he will wade out into the water until he is submerged, until he is 20 feet down, and he will begin to float. And slowly he'll pull out his knife, and he will cut each of his fingertips in turn. And as the blood begins to seep out around and cloud the water, he will just raise his arms in an almost like a Jesus Christ pose and allow the fog of the blood to creep out into the water, wafting it like chum for his father.
Nepatak's there alongside you in the water. As the waters start to grow like stronger, the waves come in, start to buffet, and you feel the westerly wind growing stronger and picking up as the sails on the Tempest Beloved, not far from you, are beginning to buffet. And Nepatak will reach out and grab your hand that has fingertips which have been bloodied, and just grab them in a hand and say, "Are you scared?" "I am."
Me too.
"Is it going to be okay?"
Yes.
Okay. As the winds pick up and the water gets stronger and stronger, all of the group will be alerted to this just due to the sound of the waves that are coming in and the movement of water and the wind which is almost blowing over any tents and almost blows out the fire in the camp. people come out of their homes to look at what's going on at this point, late into the night, coming up to dawn. And out of the water comes a man. The man is unlike any other that you've seen before, being almost made entirely from water. And there is a similarity in Zephyr to this man, but this one is clearly older. The face from water is almost constantly moving, but you can see features in there that look similar to Zephyr's strong jaw, and seaweed-like hair is constantly blowing to the west as well, similarly to Zephyr's. The man steps out around the same height as Zephyr, and there is fury and wrath upon his face. Why, Zephyr? Why?
Because it's time I gave you back what my mother took.
At last, you give in. Why now?
There's a price.
What price?
Can you sense what this little girl is?
Yes. The key.
Right. Can you destroy her?
I can try.
That's not what I asked.
I can. If you give me what is mine.
I will, after it's done. So, King of the West Wind, Lord of the Sunset, can you end her connection? Can you keep her? Can you separate her from service?
This cannot be done. She is what she is, and she always will be.
You have the power to grant wishes. Is this not a wish?
To do so, I would be creating an enemy, a very strong one indeed.
That enemy would be gone.
Perhaps. I could do it. But I would need more.
More than Elhazir, the King of the West Wind, Lord of the Sunset, and Destroyer of Asarak. You need more.
Always. The wind never stops blowing. There are many amongst you of great power that I would like to become a part of me as well. I offer you this, Zephyr, son. Choose one. I will take you both and save the girl. But there must be two.
You're being greedy. Yeah, I thought you were smarter than this. My mother thought you were smarter than this. But then again, she tricked you.
For her treachery, there is a price. This is mine. Find another way, or take my offer.
I will never pick a member of my crew. If they jump overboard with me, that is their choice.
Then ask them, son. See
You're
will
the
come
Lord.
with you.
You're the Lord of the Sunset. Ask them yourself.
Looks towards the party. Who will come with me? Who will ride the winds and be king? Who will watch every sunset from now until the end of time, alongside Jin Alcazar? Who will save this girl?
Miguel steps forward. Yes, that's all very pretty, your titles, you're this, they're that, you're other. But the bottom line is, you're not powerful enough to do it. So, I make you an offer. You assist as another comes and assists. You deal with the body, and another will take care of the spirit.
Who do you speak of?
Where are we as far as sunrise goes?
Just rosy-fingered dawn is creeping its way up on the horizon.
Miguel turns around and uses Sacred Flame to reignite the bonfire. The flames jumping up in rainbow light. He channels his Aasimar heritage, and the two wings, giant rainbow wings, come out. And I look to Zephyr. Do this for me, friend. Take my wings and throw them to the fire.
Zephyr pulls out his coral greatsword, and he looks at his father, and a smile breaks his normally stoic face. See, this is what it's like to have a crew, Father. Lord of the Sunset.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
It's time to meet you, for you to meet the Serpent of the Sunrise.
Oh, we're
And he
all
takes-
friends.
He takes the sword down on his wings.
I assume you, with that, you sever them right off.
Do you want to describe it, Miguel?
The blade comes down, and the two wings in this clean sweep part these beautiful wings off of Miguel's back. What had given him such joy to fly the air fall to the ground as bloody stubs remain. The pain, he screams out, but he tries to hold it back in, staring at this genie in the eyes. He stumbles, bends over to try to grab them both, but can only manage one, and he looks up to Zephyr in his weakness and just pleadingly asks him to grab the other wing and help him to his feet, and carries them over to the fire and throws these rainbow feathered wings into the blaze of rainbow sacred fire. Tears, crystal rainbow colored tears, run down his face. But he also is smiling.
You watch as the wings go into the flames and ignite. And as the sun rises, you will see coming down, or coming up from the sunrise as well, that it seems like the sun is moving. And what first seems to be just a flicker of movement grows larger, and coming across the waters, burning with flames, is a double-headed serpent, which rides in along the waves of Zephyr's father. And the djinn smiles as he watches your pain and sees Kotal Khan arriving. As the double-headed serpent draws close, it stops close to Jin Al-Khazor. The two of them look towards one another and bow deeply towards one another in a show of respect between two great creatures. And Kotal Khan looks towards his wingless champion. And both heads of the serpent are looking at you, Miguel, seeming to bore into your very soul. And it speaks softly and says, "Why have you done this to yourself, Miguel?"
I realized that service to you is not about glory and a name. It is about sacrifice for what you love. That is why I've done this. And he drops to one knee, prostrating himself in front of his patron.
I see. Looks towards Jin Al-Khazor, who says, "Then we are agreed. We free the girl." Kotal Khan looks back towards you, Miguel, one last time. "Are you sure? This would be your last sunrise?"
If it is to be my last sunrise, there are no other people and no other place that I would rather spend it than here amongst my friends, and he looks to Zephyr, and my captain.
Very well. The girl as well will be her last.
Will you take her soul under your wing and give her something other than darkness? Or at least a memory of her, if she no longer has a soul to give?
For your sacrifice. She will watch every sunrise with me from above. Looks towards the girl, and Nepatak steps forward as well and says, "I'm ready. I'm ready to go." And Kotal Khan says, "Then you should all say your farewells."
So while this has been going on, Rufus has been meditating up on the beach, away from it. And he chooses to pray for the first time in a long time to his god. And he goes down on two knees and prays to Lathander as the sun like crests the sea. And he says, "I know, Lathander, this has been a long time, and I know that I am not deserving of what I'm about to ask for. But you are the god of rebirth and renewal and light, and these men do not deserve to be sacrificed for this. You are the deity that believes in dispelling the undead, and that is what we are trying to do. Now I have sacrificed a lot in honor of you, and I am going to humbly ask
that you allow these men to be rebirthed in this moment.
And he stands up and joins them at the end of the beach, wiping away these just giant alligator tears from his kind of rosy cheeks. And he puts a hand on both of their shoulders and he says,
"The two of you have inspired me to be a better man. You looked at something that has no soul and sacrificed yourself to give it life. You carried a lot in you, and I would be remiss if I did not tell you that I'm gonna miss your faces."
Oh, you are so innocent and so true, Rufus. I think you are the most true and human of us all. And Miguel takes his long red parrot ear clip, reaches over and clips it onto Rufus's ear.
he like blushes.
Does it look okay?
It looks wonderful.
Perfect.
Now, wherever you go, whenever you see, he sort of smiles and a little presentationally, see beauty in the world, perhaps you will give a thought of old Miguel.
Like I could see anything more beautiful than you.
He just gives Rufus the biggest hug.
I like pick him up and lift him off the ground, you know.
And there is no heart bigger than yours, and no hug softer. I will remember it always, wherever I go.
Kotal Khan looks towards Rufus. The Fander cannot answer. But I can tell you this much. If you wish to come with us, I would take you on your lord's behalf.
But my duties are here, protecting the people. If I left, how do I bring light to this plane?
That is your own destiny. You must answer that yourself.
I look over to Farron.
I can't leave her.
Kotal Khan doesn't seem to respond.
Farron comes over to where Rufus is and says, Rufus, it's okay if you don't want to be here anymore.
But I do. Look at this place. It's amazing. Laughing, living, and watching sunrises.
But Rufus, you just look so sad. And I don't want that to be my fault. If you want to go, I don't want to be the reason you gave up something that would make you happy.
No, you know what would make me happy? To make sure this lich never comes back again. And to be able to take all four of us to the tavern and let Mutt surface a big cold one. It's not about leaving. You're the only family I ever had. The only person that never saw me as not a monster. You let me know it's okay to use my powers to do good in the world. How much good am I going to do if I sit up there in the clouds and watch the sunrise?
Well, Rufus said, I'll tell you what then. And she looks over to Miguel and Zephyr as well and says, every morning, we're going to come out here. Me and Rufus coming out together and we're going to watch the sunrise every day. And we're going to have soup every morning together. It's not going to stop here just because we can't hear you doesn't mean that you're not here. And just because you can't hear us doesn't mean that we're not talking to you. We'll come and we'll tell you guys all of our stories. And Rufus, it's gonna be, kind of like the old days. We've always been okay with just each other, and now we're just stronger. We're gonna be even better.
Yeah.
Of course you will. You're the wild cards.
You are. And when you see the sunrise or feel the western wind, we will be here with you. And you will go on and protect all the people that we are unable to any longer. And we will watch and we will cheer.
I expect to see you in another life, my friend.
How could you miss me?
I don't know. You're probably flirting with me.
This is true.
And you, he looks over to Zephyr, all quiet and stuff. I'm gonna miss you too. Always so strong and brave. And
I got you fooled, big man.
Well, what now?
Now we see if, what makes a god, and what makes a genie a father.
Nepatek will grab onto your hand again, Zephyr, and say, I've never really known anyone my whole life. My mother and father died when I was 8, and now I'm hundreds or thousands of years old, so I never really felt like I had one. But I imagine that if I did have a father, that he would be like you.
Well, it's always good to have a crew. And he looks at her and he winks, and as he does, the wind kind of whips a bit through his hair, and he says, fathers ain't all they're cracked up to be. Crew, though. Crew's for life.
Crew for life.
Crew is for life.
Crew for life. And Kotal Khan will look towards Miguel and Zephyr and Nepatek and say, come here. To me.
Miguel walks over.
Farron will reach down and grab Rufus's hand and squeeze it really tight as we see them sort of depart and just whisper, crew for life.
Crew for life.
Oh no, Rufus doesn't even whisper it. He yells it at them. Crow for life! Crow for life! As they walk towards the water.
At the last minute, Zephyr spins around, heads back, and wraps his arms about the neck of Rufus and Farron. And as he's squeezing them both, he kisses each of them on the side of the head, and he pulls back and he takes his necklace from around his neck and he hands it to Farron, and he says, this is my mother's. I don't want it floating in the water. Then he turns around and walks back.
She just holds it, and he's walking away before she can even say anything, sort of scrambling for words, and just holds it close to her heart as a single tear drips down her cheek. And she just looks down. She can't even look up at the sunrise to watch it.
He doesn't turn around, but as he's walking back, his back to both of them, he says, yo-ho, Captain, and joins Miguel.
Your father looks towards you. You're mine, remember?
Oh, how could I forget? Every day when I look in a mirror, I'm greeted with your gifts and blessings.
Kotal Khan will bow its double serpent neck in order for Miguel and Nepatek to mount him and get upon its back. And Nepatek is going to need a hand up, Miguel.
Yeah. No, so Miguel bows deeply at just the honor of being able to ride upon Kotal Khan, and he actually probably lifts Nepatek up first to make sure that she is seated, sort of there at the joint of the two serpentine heads. And he takes a look around again at the beach and at Rufus and Farron and Mutt and Taskar. And it was a good run. And sort of leaps gallantly up onto Kotal Khan and stay wild, my friends. Always bring the unexpected. You are a wild card in this crazy game of kings and death and life. Sometimes the smallest little bit of crazy is what can change the world. And gets upon Kotal Khan.
Zephyr wades into the water where Kotal Khan is resting and looks at both Nepatek and Miguel and kind of nods in reverence to the deity. And from there, he turns and looks at his father. You have something you have to do. This girl is a phylactery. You said you would sever that. This great deity said it would carry her away. It's ready to do its job. Now you do yours, and you'll get your prize.
He reaches out towards Nepatek, close to the serpent, and will touch her face with his watery hand, just grabbing hers. And you'll watch as the white, cold, and dead flesh of Nepatek is revitalized. And you see for the first time blood pumping beneath her skin. The veins and her pupils come to life for the first time. And he turns back towards Zephyr and says, "There. Now. To the west with us."
To the west. And from still the side of Kotal Khan, Miguel, and Nepatek, fly away, my friend, with your god, with this, our smallest crew member. Let me watch you fly before I embrace my father.
I whisper something into Kotal Khan's ear. And then we, with two giant, mighty rainbow wings, far more resplendent than even Miguel's ever could be, he lifts into the sky.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Zephyr watches him lift off, and he begins to wade into the water towards his father. And as he's watching them fly, he casts aside the warhammer as it drops into the water. He unbuckles the rig that he wears and lets his shield drop into the water. And he takes the great sword and begins to pull it off the side of his shoulder from its separate rig. As he turns back and looks up the beach, and he makes direct eye contact with Farron, winks, and says, "Run." He pulls the sword out and jams it into the chest of his father. And as he takes it all the way up to the hilt in the water, he stares at him, the same eyes that look like his, only made out of liquid. And he goes, "What did you expect from a pirate and a wild god?"
I'm gonna pass out.
Your father's eyes are just like not able to comprehend. Just absolute shock as the sword has run him through.
Farron, you will notice that the necklace is a shell, and inside it says "Third Wish." It carries the essence that his mother stole from his father.
Oh my.
So what's happening? Can I help?
As
Rufus wants to help.
As you watch as Zephyr does this, you open up the locket at the same time. And Zephyr's sword has run through Jin Alcazor, and he just standing there, seemingly only held up by the sword all the way through his body. No. And you're watching as his body is forming downwards into the water. His water is just essentially joining the rest of the ocean. However, the sea around is growing incredibly stormy at this point. The winds are picking up, howling now. The water is getting incredibly strong, and something is happening to the Tempest Beloved as well. It seems as though the water is destroying the ship, kind of battering against it. What are you guys doing?
Zephyr takes the sword and holds it over his head. He calls his own blessed unrest and proceeds into the sea.
Okay.
I look at Fran and go, "What is it? What have you got?" Tell me. And Rufus looks at it. He sees probably the writing on the inside that says "Third Wish" or whatever.
It says "Third Wish."
I got a wish. Robbie, I don't know. Have you make it work? I got a wish. I want Zephyr to live. But what about we could probably get Miguel and that protect back. We could be a whole family. Just yeah. Is it working? I don't know how to activate the wish, but Rufus is gonna try.
Maybe if we just hold it together and we say it out loud what we really, really want.
You're watching as Zephyr's going in. He's being pulled down by the waters that are battering away at the Tempest Below.
Yeah. Can I roll? Okay, I would like to roll an insight, and then I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it.
Still me.
21.
Nice.
So as that is happening, you
I'm gonna pass out.
look out across the water, and you see what looks like the sunrise flying in across the water as Miguel's, what he whispered into Kotal Khan's ear was, "Fly away, then turn around and come back. Your old nemesis is about to meet his maker," as the serpent of the sunrise finally might get some payback on the King of the Western Wind. I think I got the title right.
You'll as you command that wish, Rufus, the two of you shout that out into the waters which are surrounding Zephyr and pulling him down. You can see that he's maybe even drowning as the dual storms are fighting one another. You watch as the sun rises, and you see Kotal Khan fly above and rain fire from both heads of the dragon serpent down upon the storm, the sea, and the tempest beloved. And the water is burned away. And you watch as it is fought backwards through the dragon's breath. And this continual flame evaporates the water and hot steam rises off of it. And eventually, there is one figure who is lying in just what is the sand now. And the figure is, of course, Zephyr, burnt and bloodied and unconscious. But the father is no more.
But can I get to him? Like, could Rufus run and get to?
Can we both?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, Rufus tears ass running over to Zephyr and goes down, on hands and knees to check him. Can I check a pulse? Is he dead?
You check the pulse. It's incredibly faint.
Do we have healing?
From
potions?
flying
I did not
above,
check.
Miguel asks permission of his god. May I?
Kolokan says, yes, though we must be away.
Yes, let me just do this. And I dive off of his back and down onto the sand. Nice hero 3-point landing. And with the gift of my patron, will use all of my healing light, which is 66, on Zephyr. To bring him back. 24 as I just land there on him, basically in the 3-point landing, but my hand right on his chest, and you see Miguel's rainbow eyes light up in this whole nimbus of spectral light, all the colors of the spectrum sort of swirl around him like a halo and flow down his arm and deep into the chest of Zephyr. It's not your time, pirate.
Please.
Yeah, fair.
Zephyr's
it's like
eyes.
breath.
Zephyr's eyes flutter open.
Oh, I don't know which one to kiss first.
Hello, Peacock.
I knew that you were not going to go silently into that storm.
Oh my god.
Good thought.
But you're gonna stay too, right? You're gonna stay?
I cannot.
But I wish.
Khan lands nearby.
Why do you have to take him?
There is a price for everything. Our deal cannot be undone. As is the way, the sun must always rise, and the sun must always set. Without a king, that is still the same.
It is fine.
That's right.
This is the price I knew I must pay. I am going to my God, to be with the one who has walked far away from me, and now I get to ride upon his back. This is the greatest of blessings for me.
I understand.
It has been the greatest honor.
Sir, the honor is all mine.
Thanks for coming back, Wild God.
Try to stay a little crazy, not so stoic.
Well, maybe you rubbed off a bit on me. You see, you say this isn't the end, and I believe you. Because what's walking the earth with you three and sailing the seas has taught me is none of this is impossible. Your God says you are to live with them. Okay. That sounds all right for now. But, and he points over to the necklace, there's always tomorrow.
There is always tomorrow. And just with a little bit of a flourish, if you'll allow it, Zephyr, really, I reach out to where your scarification and one of the dark tattoos on the back of your hand, and I put my hand upon. I sort of hold your hand, as brothers would, sort of clasp it, and when I pull it away, it is now in full color instead of just dark.
Well, isn't that nice?
Couldn't let you forget me that easily.
No. Don't think that a pretty hand tattoo would ever need be the reminder I would require.
I never doubted. But I wanted to spruce you up some as well.
Until tomorrow, Peacock.
Until tomorrow, pirate. And I walk back over to my God and look him in the eyes. And wait for him to either put his neck down or whatever to allow to.
It does, yeah.
And
Rufus goes, wait. And he runs back up the beach and comes back with like a bowl of soup that he's like covered and packaged, and he goes, looks at the guard, can he take it with him?
A care package for the trip.
Something, to remember us by.
Cuddle Khan doesn't waste any words on this matter, but does seem to not stop you.
Yeah, I like hand it up to him, like,
Yeah.
just for later.
Yes, I will save it for later. If ever clouds block the sun, I know our little soup will bring
all the warmth back to your belly.
all the warmth back to my belly.
Till tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
Miguel,
Yes, dear Farron.
I'm not really one for last words. I've never really lost anyone that actually mattered to me. But and don't take this in a bad way. For some reason, I don't feel sad. I feel like I just know somehow that this isn't the end. At the very least, you'll be with me. Always.
I will. And we have an old saying in Mezocon. Don't ever say goodbye. Say good journey. Because each destination is but a doorway to another.
I like that. And I'm not really good at coming up with my own sayings. I'm not much of a wordsmith like you are. I'm not much of a charmer, but
He kisses her.
Oh God, I can't take it.
And just gives her a smile, knowing that it always gets her to sort of shut up and be like,
Yeah. She looks
Until
up and she
tomorrow.
says, "Yes, that's what I meant."
and
That.
he hops up on top of Kotal Khan.
It looks back towards the group of you left on the beach. Your work is not yet done. There is still an army on your doorstep. And if you want to survive, then you best stand and fight. You may not be worshippers of mine, but you are friends of one of my champions. I wish the best of luck to your crew, Wildcards. You will see us on the morrow. And Nepatak and Miguel are lifted up once again by Kotla Khan as he flies away across the bay, and they rise up into the sun.
Is Lord Neverember still there?
He is.
Zephyr walks over and squeezes both Rufus's shoulder and Farron's shoulder, and then he goes and stands in front of Lord Neverember and he says, "My lord, it seems the day is won, but tomorrow you're going to teach me how to steal from a god."
Very well. Then, back to my tower? And Mutt shakes his head vigorously and says, "No! Back to my place."
Back to his place.
Sergeant Asker will grunt. And Mutt will grab as many people as he can by the shoulders and sort of locked arms walk back towards his tavern. And as the camera pans out of Neverwinter, we see the army on the doorstep, which is Valindra Shadowmantle's forces preparing for war tomorrow. But even further out than that lies the sun. And if you look close enough, as our party do, as they're out on the rooftops of Mutt's place, they at least think that they can see Miguel and Nepotek out there, looking down upon them. And that's where we're going to end our season of Learn by Play, my friends.
I'm a weeping mess. This is not what I set down to do today, gang.
Oh man,
I thought we were wrapping up next.
Yeah.
Me too. I was
Me
not
too.
emotionally ready.
So we were actually scheduled to finish next week, my friends. So this has come as a surprise to all of us, players, audience included, as we thought I at least had another one planned. But how do you top that? Where do you go from there, other than to draw a curtain on things for a perfect ending? People are asking in chat, but none of this was planned.
Nope.
We improv'd literally all of that. I had 0 notes prepped that involved anything to do with this.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
we didn't talk about it before the session or anything.
Nope. Zephyr and I did not talk about anything we were doing. It was, since it is learn by play, I mean, one of the biggest things to learn is listen to your other players and go along with it and just try to build. And boy, did that momentum start rolling once, Grimjack, starting on the nope, I'm not going to allow this. I know the DM's demon as a demon battle plan, but nope.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, my friends, I'm gonna call it just a little bit early today, a little bit earlier than usual, because man, I mean, sometimes D&D sessions end themselves. Sometimes the story writes itself, and it kind of did today. But we'll be back next week, and we'll be doing a Q&A session about the whole season of Learn by Play and D&D in general. So if you guys have questions for us, the best time to join us will be next week. We're live 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern every Saturday. We may have news on season 3 next week as well that we can share with you guys. So stay tuned for that. If you do want to find us in the meantime, we'll do our wrap-ups here, and we'll talk a little bit more about the season as a whole here. You can find us here on Twitch over at Encounter Roleplay. I'll drop you guys a link. If you want to follow us, you can do. We're live most days playing D&D, Call of Cthulhu, a bunch of different tabletop games. But thank you guys for being such an incredible audience tonight. It was amazing. You guys are in chat and current alongside us. So thank you for that. Let's go around. Let's get our thoughts and feelings on not only this episode but the season. and of course where we can find you guys. Let's start with Tall Squirrel. What did you? How you feeling, man?
Oh, I mean, you heard how I was feeling. I was choking up all left and right. But no, what better send off? What better way to go out? I had a wonderful time. I mean, you know me. I love doing big, dramatic, emotional scenes, and this is my first time really getting to play off in a really Greg and Chelsea and Sydney and I have done some deep stuff in Turncloaks, but and then Will, me and you all the way back since the very beginning, making each other cry. But no, I love telling a big story. I love when it's full of emotion and just amazing imagery by everybody. Zephyr just not gonna let a demon take Nepertak, and it's a tough. I'm sort of waxing. I'm waxing long here, but I don't know whether you want us to fill up some this time or not. Will, but I mean, Greg's a DM. I'm a DM. We're all DMs. We know 100% what Will had written down, but sometimes you go with what your character would do. And I totally believe that Zephyr in no way would have agreed to Nepertak being destroyed by a demon. And I thought it was a true role play. It absolutely went off script, but I would say probably has led to one of our most poignant and true episodes of the season, of really being able to tie together these wild cards and what they've got to mean to each other over the course of the season. And I had a wonderful time. I don't know whether Miguel's coming back or not. Like I said, we didn't plan any of this. Who knows? Who knows what lies in store, or whether I'm rolling up somebody new, and we shall see. So I'm looking forward to it as well. But I feel, this is one of those times when death of a character feels so right, and especially for a celestial Aasimar, a celestial patron warlock, to end up with his patron. I mean, it felt right. And so that was great. And I loved it. And being able to do the imagery of the sort of fallen angel cutting the wings off, I love stuff like that. So I've been talking too much. I'm Tall Squall. You can find me all over social media on at Tall Squall, especially through my Twitter. You can find links to all the other stuff that I do. And it is just an honor and a privilege to be able to play with these fine other cast members, and Will as my DM, and all you guys. Seeing you all's reactions out there in chat just gives us so much strength to keep making those choices and going down those paths and really exploring those feelings. So thank you out there, chat, as well. And with that, I will pass it on.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Sid, same questions.
So the funny thing is that Chelsea and I were messaging each other about this whole thing, and we were like, I can't believe they planned this without us. I cannot
We were
believe
so angry.
we were like, this was so rude. All of this, I cannot believe they kept.
They literally left us standing on the beach.
We were like, oh my god, when this Zoom call when this stream ends, we are gonna rip you a new one. Like, we were so mad.
And then they literally were like, we didn't plan anything. Now we're like, well, how are we supposed to be mad
Now
at
we
you?
can't even be mad. And see, like, what makes me upset about that is, like, I was channeling some of my sadness into my anger, and now my anger is not valid and has to be gone. So now I'm just sad. Thank you. But yeah, that was all extremely unexpected. Like we all said, we thought we had another week, so I definitely was not expecting any sort of emotional death ending anything today. I thought today was going to be like planning attacks and tactical army stuff. I did not expect this to what happened today? But it was awesome. I think it's best when it is like that. You know, when you're not expecting all this to go down, you just feel it 10 times harder, and it really did. But I'm just so glad I got to do this. This whole campaign was so fun. I'm so emotionally attached to all these characters. I just need to go cry by myself, especially Rufus. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad that Rufus didn't die. I wouldn't have been able to take it. I would have hung up. just, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm just going to leave. And I quit. But, oh God. Okay, so if you want to find me in other places, you can follow me on Twitter at Sydneyak. I'll link it in chat. I'm also the DM of a podcast called Wonder Quest Podcast. We just wrapped up our Act 1, and it was really sad because it's similar to this, and everyone is still mad at me. So if you want to jump on the Yell at Sydney train, feel free to do so. You can follow us there. I link that in chat. And then I'm also on Turncloaks Podcast, where we do some really gritty, dark, sad stuff. So if you want to cry every time, like you did tonight, well, you can do so. You can listen to Turncloaks, because we're all crying over there too.
Kind of our brand.
Kind of our brand, you know? Like, we just cry a lot, and we're all super dehydrated. What's up? Oh, yeah. I'll pass it on.
Yeah. Greg.
Yeah, I didn't plan any of that, and halfway through the conversation, I knew that Will had plans, and I felt terrible, but I couldn't deviate from.
Well, on that note, I had bullet points. So don't feel too bad about it. I hadn't written this elaborate ending or anything. I was like, they might do this.
Oh yeah, the shirt, everybody. Ampersand Pride Month. There you go. Just got it today in the mail.
Yeah, mine should have come in the mail as well. I can't wait to go pick mine up.
Super stoked when I saw it. I love playing with these people, and as it was discussed before, and this is the beauty of. And here's the question that I don't like. Someone told me one time, well, how can you have an emotional connection with people that you're streaming with over the internet? You can't play it. You can't read their faces like it's a poker table. You don't know if they're upset, happy, mad, sad about a particular thing. You can do it. You can shadow RPG just like you shadow box with everybody that's in this chat. I've been blessed to have Will as my DM and my keeper and my GM for numerous shows, and I knew that when I reached that point, should I keep push? I said he's going to roll with me on this. He is a pro's pro. He'll just take it and make it 1,000 times better than I ever thought it would be, and he did. And as soon as Tall came in and started doing it, I was like, okay, and we could just bump and bamf and stuff like that. And to me, that's my favorite part about role-playing games. It equates back to the time when I grew up as a kid and I was rolling around in the dirt with Matchbox cars, and you start a chase and your buddy gets behind you and starts a chase, and the girls from down the street, they start a chase, and pretty soon you're Dukes of Hazzarding through somebody's front yard. That's RPG. We're back in the yard on our knees playing in the dirt, and it's fun and it's great. And when it works, it works. And when chat is there cheering you on like an audience in a theater that is applauding and crying and gasping, that is the greatest symbiosis of RPG. So to all those people that poo-poo streaming, you can poo-poo it, you can have your own opinion. It's just wrong. So, Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. Join me at Encounter Roleplay. I'm a keeper over there for Cthulhu. I play in Will's shows, Tomes and Tentacles. On my own channel, you can see me. We do Cthulhu over there. I do Conan, Firefly RPG, D&D, of course. And but you know what? Just play. Today's free RPG day. Play. It's the best.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Chelsea.
Yeah. So I will shamelessly let you all know that is the first time I have ever cried live on Twitch. So there you go. That was something new. I ugly cried in front of all of you today. done and have that off my back, so you know we can do it next season. I'm Little Red Dot, and it has been an absolutely humbling experience to do this season, because you know I wasn't with them last season, so and to get to play with all four of you, and actually I want to think, Will, this is the first time you've DM'd me in anything more than one shot.
Really? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't think you've actually like an extended campaign, and it's been a long time since just myself as a player I've finished through a campaign on the player side, not the DM side. So it's been extraordinarily rewarding in a strange way. Like I said, none of us planned to come in today to do this, and you know, I piggyback off what Greg said. I think there's something really beautiful about collaborative storytelling that we get to do together, and it makes it together, meaning audience and players and GM, and it creates this kind of like universal table that we all get to sit at, and it is the most equitable thing, in my opinion, to be able to share a story that way. So it is just so fulfilling, and I can't say thank you to ERP enough. I can't say thank you to Wizards of the Coast enough, and to everybody that showed up and wants to hear the stories that we tell. So yeah, that's my piece. I'm sure next week we'll get into like deeper questions and character stuff, and I can talk all about Rufus, but really I just want to say thank you to everybody that made something like this possible, because it means a lot to me, and I do know that it means a lot, hopefully, to everybody else that's tuning in and listening. So but I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me online in quite a few places. I play a lot of tabletop RPG on a lot of different places. ERP, I'm over there on Thursdays DMing their viewer game. I play in a podcast called North by Northwest. I'm like playing through a Princess of Apocalypse campaign. I just joined the cast of Roll for it, literally. I just started a World of Darkness campaign hours before I was sitting here. So there's a lot of RPG you can see me in, and I keep my schedule up on my Twitter, so that's the best place to find me. In addition, I've started doing RPG Sunday Fun Days over on my own Twitch channel. So it's not like full weeks worth of RPG, but I do like one-offs and crazy high fantasy kind of shenanigans-based one-offs that you can actually be a part of. So drop by and check it out. I drink a lot of mimosas. It's great and fun. So yeah, thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. And yes, again, thank you to Wizards of the Coast for letting us host the show here for a second season. Must mean that we're doing something right. We'll have news next week about a possible third season, so I'll let you guys know about that. We didn't get to the advice Q&A stuff because it was our finale, turns out. But we'll be back next week for a full 3-hour-long episode of Q&A DM advice, and you can also hit us up on Twitter anytime to get that. Thank you guys again. You guys, this whole season has been just incredible. It's been an awesome experience from my side, the DM side of things. First season we did Tomb of Annihilation, which was running the module, but my home, my heart is definitely in running a homebrew campaign. So it's been awesome to get to do that and mess around and reinvent the realms with you guys. So thank you for that. Yeah, you can find us on Twitch. That's basically where we hang out. So you can follow us over there. Crazy's got a link in chat. We're back next week here on Wizards of the Coast, 3 p.m. Pacific, for our, I guess you could call it, finale. Wrap-up session, decompression, and chat. So join us then, and you can come and ask us some questions about D&D. But thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, my friends, try not to throw too many nat ones, because we want to be a laughing when you do. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Good night. 3